Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for game exhibit number 3. Nope, yes, game exhibit number 3 for IRX 17. And the very first game we're going to be playing, once I get the gameplay up, is called Hunter's Legacy by Lienzo. Hunter's Legacy by Lienzo. I like that trailer. I'm not usually so easily swayed by cats,
Yes, you are.
but that was that was well timed, I will say. Hunter's Legacy is an action platformer. You are a cat traveling across the land. I don't have the information open if you want to talk about the actual story.
I don't have it.
I got it.
Okay.
So, oh no, wait, that's the wrong place. All right, so Hunter's Legacy. The cat's name is Iki, Huntress of Unamak. I would say Unamak, which is a cat equipped with a variety of weapons and abilities, including swords, bows, and arrows. And you're going across the land, attempting a little bit of some platforming elements, as you see, where you're trying to get over lasers and stuff like that, but also defeating enemies, getting through obstacles, and using various abilities to defeat them. And it's cool because, you know, like a lot of times, like SNES games and stuff like that, where it had these kinds of like action platforming aspects with bosses. Mm-hmm. You always have to look for the pattern and the right thing to to defeat it with.
The weak point.
Yeah. So you have to use like the right abilities and stuff like that. And because I've seen them on Twitter, we follow them on Twitter, and they post like gifs of the bosses. You're like, here's a tip for defeating the boss, and it's pretty cool.
How much depth? How much depth is there to this game?
How much depth? I mean, from what I've played, because we did feature this last year. From what I played, the depth really comes in the abilities that you're able to get with what was the name again? I forget the name of the cat, but Unamak. Is that what I said?
No.
Something. Well, I just made that up. But the abilities is where it comes into unlocking new abilities and trying to get through to the bosses. And the bosses, like I said, it's not like you're just hacking and slashing through them. There is a strategy and a pattern to defeating them. And then obviously there's different mechanics as far as getting through all the obstacles. So it's not just a one-trick pony, if that makes sense. Really cool hand-drawn art, too, I will say. Pretty solid controls. Platformers kind of important.
Right.
The other cool thing about Lienzo in itself is that they're pretty big in, I believe they're pretty big in the Mexican, they're from Mexico, and they're pretty big in the Mexican game dev community, which seems to be growing pretty quickly. I know they got a lot of awards down there, and they're kind of, it seems like I just like the fact that it seems like they're a leader within the Mexican game dev community and trying to strengthen the whole thing down there, which is pretty cool. Hunter's Legacy is, I believe, on Steam. If I can go find it.
Let me see if I can find real quick. Sorry, guys.
Don't be sorry. I got it.
Not in the slightest. You
Hunter's
got it?
Legacy, yeah. Hunter's Legacy is on Steam once it loads. For $6.99, which is a damn steal, and of course you can get the soundtrack as well for 99 cents. So I mean, honestly, $8 altogether if you want the soundtrack. Support the dev, and go buy it. It is for Windows and Mac, but not Linux. So sorry.
All right.
Do you think Mac is like the least important to develop for?
I would see, yes, but that's because I hate everybody that has a Mac.
We just lost the entire Mac audience.
I don't know. I'm sure there is an actual legitimate reason why somebody would need one, but 95% of the people that I deal with are like, you know, they don't actually need one, they just want one, and it's usually at the expense of the company's budget and all sorts of... Yeah.
Holly does agree that Mac is the least important to develop for.
Well, it's also the smallest in terms of gaming. It's your smallest audience.
But they do tend to pay the most, and like for like humble bundles and stuff like that. Probably because they can afford Macs. But anyway, this next one that we're going to talk about, I'm going to let you lead after the video plays because you know much more about it than I do since you were able to experience it. This is called "You Must Be 18 or Older to Enter" by Seemingly Pointless. This isn't an SFW, is it?
I don't think so.
Okay. I just wanted to double check before this goes on. I got the pause button. A little risque. That actually scared the shit out of me. And that is 18. You must be 18 or older to enter. Turn off the sound. Go ahead, Rev.
So this is my all-time favorite horror game. Having bumped into them at Indiecade this last year, it was... Sorry, let me mute Twitch. It's meant to evoke for those of us that grew up at that time.
Kids, this is actually what dial-up looked like.
Yeah, no, like it was pretty bad. But they were trying to evoke that feeling of what you would experience if you were trying to access pornography on the on the sly. Because I mean, who really was just like, oh yeah, no, we just got this computer and we're gonna blah blah blah. Like, no, that shit didn't happen. It was always very super sneaky. And people are coming up behind you, and it's really evoking that sense of subversion to the family rules, as it were. And by far, it's one of my favorite games, or experience games, as it were. But a lot of fun, really difficult.
So what's the mechanic? I mean, so you have to, like, every time it comes up with look behind you, you have to look behind?
Well, sure. I mean, is your parents sneaking up behind you? Did
You
uh,
actually
did
have to
somebody come
physically look
home?
behind yourself, or someone beat you over the
Yeah,
head.
yeah, exactly. Um, but it's just like, can you reach orgasm while doing it? No, I mean it's just a lot of fun.
Some people like the risk. Just saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, not me, but just saying.
you don't like risk.
No, I don't like being caught jacking it publicly. Sorry.
No, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, neither did we. They wouldn't allow us to do that at Indiecade.
Did
Um,
someone try?
I have no idea. That was just part of the joke. But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun if you want to experience, kind of that throwback to can you hide your porn, can you access porn without getting caught. It's not bad. There's some humor in it as well. It definitely reminds you of Web 1.0.
Porn tub. I wish that is that an actual site. I kind of want it to be.
I don't think so.
That's a
But this
shame.
isn't the only, yeah, but like this isn't the only thing that can happen. The fake virus ads or everything. They really
That
worked
scared the crap out of me, by the way.
they really worked hard at trying to get that to feel like it did. So really well done on them. They won media choice at IRX, or not at IRX, at Indiecade, 2016, and it's also the team. We've got several games. We were talking about that, but the it's shit, I can't think of his name. Cox? No, hold on. Let me find
Wait,
it
what?
again.
His name is just Cox.
No, 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 no. It's the guy that did the 100 games
Oh, yeah, okay.
challenge. James Earl Cox. Yeah, he was part of that. Part of seemingly pointless that made this game. Um, Creation of Death. Watching some of the chat on this one's great.
I'm kind of
Um,
curious.
oh, you know what? We'll do it right now. Hold on.
You'll do it right now.
Yeah, because I'm not streaming. Porntub.com. You must be over 18 and agree to the terms below before continuing. Yeah, I'm gonna agree. That is definitely a thing. Yay, boobies. And
That's
way more.
awesome.
And way more.
I wonder if they could get in trouble for that putting it in a game. Someone ask Suzanne.
Ooh, I hadn't thought of that. All right. What do we got next?
Next, we've got Novelist
Novelist?
Simulator by
Yeah.
Standoff Software. So that is Novelist Simulator. And I gotta first point out, why does everyone assume novelists are miserable?
Have you ever met a novelist?
I write novels. I have not been
Have
published.
you ever met an actual novelist?
Wow. Okay.
I'm just fucking with you. No,
No.
I mean okay. Like you think about some of the great novelists. How many of them live to be a ripe old age of 35 to 50?
Stephen King.
Barely.
George
barely.
R. R. Martin.
But I mean, you look at it. Sure, I'm being slightly hyperbole. But a lot of the really famous novelists, were not we're not the happiest of people. Like I think when I think of some of the greats, I think of like Ernest Hemingway, and the other I can't think of names right now. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I mean, and it really writing a novel is a very I would see that as being a very lonely.
It is an emotional investment,
right?
At least if you're doing it right. Hear that, James Patterson? You fucking sell out. Yeah, exactly. He's one of the most popular writers, but I mean, he doesn't even write fucking his own books. He just puts his name on it. Anyway, so yeah, Novelist Simulator. Basically, you're living the life of a writer. You need to get your novel written within a certain amount of time, while also managing life needs such as hunger, your health, and eventually things like your sex drive, your loneliness, your alcohol dependency. So
that was the part that sold me. That was the part that sold me on its realism. Like every writer that I know is pretty close to being a diagnosed alcoholic.
Oh, that's depressing.
Well, I mean, Matt, art is an output of pain. In a lot of cases, I mean, we're not going to really go into Stephanie Meyers or that doesn't count as. I mean, it
Shades of Grey.
It does technically count, but no. So Holly says the video's a little old. The look of the game got a big overhaul, as well as more from feedback to the actions and whatnot. I really like the depth that this has. I mean, everything it's simple and straightforward. But trying to play whack-a-mole, keeping some bars full and keeping other bars empty.
Actually, I mean, as simple as it is, as far as like gameplay mechanics go, it can be. I feel like I'm already stressed just looking at them. Like, okay, which shit, too many, too high thing. You know what I mean?
Well, and you also play your games very emotional as well. So or play games with your emotion close to your chest. So no, it looks very in depth. I like the.
And Holly in the chat is the dev, by the way. I should point that out. So I see people making comments and stuff like that. So he would be able to one to talk to about anything you have questions or comments about.
I definitely do. This looks like a lot of fun. Again, it's one of those management type games which don't usually do it for me, but it's one of those that I will always play for the experience thereof. So yeah.
All right.
Well done. I like it. I can't wait to see the updated version of it.
Next up, we have Polynomial 2.
The sequeling.
So Polynomial 2 by Dmitry and Alexei Lavrov. First of all, love that music. I don't know why. There's something about there's an oomph behind it. But anyway, how there's a lot of colors going on with the lasers and stuff like that. How does that
There's a
affect you?
lot going on, and I think, and this is just my my theory. This would be really fucking cool in VR. I think it would.
That's a
Playing
lot
it
going on in your eyes for
as
VR.
opposed to playing, yeah, I'd be okay with it.
All
I'd
right.
be okay with it. I think I would probably be better with it in VR than I am currently. Like it seems like it's suited for VR. And there's so much going on. I just watching the video. I'm struggling to see what's going on, and like it's everybody's commenting. Yep, there goes the video compression. It looks like a lot of fun. It fast-paced, energetic. I like the music. I can't comment on the coloration other than it looks like there's a lot, and there's a lot going on.
It is currently in early access and for $11.99, which I believe you can actually buy through, unless that's a Humble widget, but it doesn't say Humble. So I think that's just directly through a website, which of course helps the devs more directly. But you can also buy it on Steam for the same price. It is, by the way, an original game engine, which is always impressive to me. Or you can say something?
No, sorry, I was replying
Oh,
to some social media stuff.
I heard you take a deep breath. So yeah, this game seems very focused on visual and audio aesthetic.
Hmm.
Obviously, OBS can't render it yet. I I don't know about. I'd have to really get into it to like see if it would affect gameplay, like the crazy amount of stuff going on. From what I saw, I gotta think. I think that firing the whole dogfight aspect of it, space
Hmm.
fights, didn't seem impeded when it was happening. It was just like in between. It was just like crazy laser show going on. It is they have an infinite procedurally generated arcade mode,
Ooh.
and they also have chill out levels just for music listening, so you can just fly around and relax, which is actually pretty cool to me. I like that that's a built-in option because occasionally you just kind of need to just mellow.
Chill, mellow, and see. I think I hope they go VR with it. I think it would work out really well. I mean, obviously it's a design choice, but
And
I
when
go
I
ahead.
say, by the way, that they focus on the visual and audio as like the main thing for this game, and
Hmm.
I know some people's opinions will vary on this choice, but I really do mean it. Even in their description on Steam, it says Polynomial 2 was an amazing visual candy, which tends to be a space shooter and a music visualizer. So the fact that the space shooter is secondary to that, I mean, that I'll just leave it to your opinion. I know for a fact that some people were like, I want a game, not if you're gonna make it a space shooter, make it a space shooter. But hey, I mean
Eh,
that's their
I'm okay.
choice.
I'm okay without it being
40 plus minutes of music, by the way, of
nice,
like the whole soundtrack. That's a big soundtrack.
nice.
And the levels, I mean, and to say it's not a game too, the levels there are levels and they do have goals, um, and they're still creating levels and everything like that, and they take their opinion seriously. So as you're playing through the early access, they want you to contact them and let them know what you think about the levels, or give suggestions probably for stuff that they're still working on, all that sort of stuff. So your opinion is counted if you decide to purchase it in early access. And of course, purchasing it in early access also supports the development, and I will always, always, always encourage it. Um, yeah. So I was just making sure I didn't miss anything important
Okay,
to that. It is also for Windows and Linux, no Mac.
nice.
Haha. Everyone hates Mac.
Again.
Anything else about Polynomial 2?
Not off the top of my head.
All right. Well, we got one more game to talk about.
Vridnix.
Vridnix by Unknout. Unknout? No idea. I'm going to be honest. Here we go. So that is Vridnix, again by Unknout. I'm sorry. Not?
No, not.
Unknout.
Yeah.
Unknout.
Unknout.
Sure. It is a platformer with what it seems like is that the character actually is constantly moving. So that's the only thing you really have to concentrate on is your timing with the jumps and stuff like that, and the direction that they move in. With some mechanics where you can climb on the walls and ceilings, depending, in those darker spots, and of course, where you're turning the level around using those little power-up thingies that they're collecting as he's going through the level. And then you get to the end.
Go ahead.
Thank you for the follow, whoever that was. You get to the end, and I mean it's pretty simple actually for a platform, but still looks like fun. I think the constant running actually, even though you don't have to concentrate on that, like that's one less thing that your fingers have to do, I think that it makes it a little bit more challenging, probably especially later in the game, if there's like timing aspects to that, because then you have to like, sorry about that. Big dick bikers. Basically where you're having to either have really quick reflexes or having to stop yourself going back and forth until you can figure out like how to get through it, that sort of thing. And I like the art too, to be honest.
Yeah, it's really cute. I didn't catch a whole lot of the music. It didn't come through very well for me, but no, it's the style is nice and simple, very clean, is the term that I would use, and I like how everything has to make perspective sense, regardless of where it is rotationally. And yeah, it's apparently Vridnix is the name of the main character, but during his journey to save the world, he'll destroy everything. The inhabitants of the world aren't happy that it gets rotated every time he hits it.
I put the website in the chat because they do have a demo available. I believe they have a demo on Steam as well, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, the demo is on the website. You can download directly from. And they have a Windows and a Mac version. Is it one button? I'm trying to see if they list it. I'm not 100% sure. No, it can't be, because there has to be at least 3 buttons, because there's you can change the direction that you're going, plus there's a jump. So it has to be at least 3, I think. So
no, the rotation happens when you hit the orbs.
No, I mean like you can run either to the left or to the right. That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha. Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't think you controlled that though.
Looking further on their website too, there's some other mechanics. It looks like where where if you get further in the game, not only so when you rotate the screen, things might fall, so you have to think about that, and also it looks like there's like a I don't know if it's a double jump or some kind of like an air jump or a wall jump kind of mechanic, where if you're going down you can't touch like the sides of a thing is what it looks like to me. It looks like there's an object that will like be attracted to you as you're going around, so you kind of have to run from it while completing things to progress through the level. So it's not just from that. I think from that gameplay footage that they gave us, it looks really, really simple as a platformer. What the fuck, man? But there's a lot more to it as you go through the game.
Definite, and the character design's really cute. You can't really see it, but he's a three-legged, at least not in the video, but he's a three-legged duck monster looking thing, and all the people in the world are these big-headed. Design. Yeah, I don't know. There's it's a unique feel to it. I really like that.
Damn straight. Well, you know what else has a unique feel?
The fact that we just did it ridiculously fast again.
Actually, I think that was not too bad.